Every year, car enthusiasts waste thousands of dollars on shiny tools that barely get touched. One study found that the average garage holds $8,000 worth of tools, but only uses 30% of them regularly. Meet Jake M. from Phoenix, Arizona. Last year, he dropped $3,200 on what he thought were essential restoration tools for his 1969 Mustang project. The plasma cutter, used twice, the professional spray gun, gathering dust. Meanwhile, his $40 cordless impact gun gets used every single day. You're about to discover the 10 tools that separate efficient restorers from tool collectors. Some will shock you. One will literally save your life. And the number one tool? It's sitting in your garage right now, completely undervalued. Here's the brutal truth about muscle car restoration. The tool industry has weaponized your passion against your wallet. In the 1970s, restoring a muscle car required basic hand tools, determination, and time. But today, the tool industry bombards you with promises. Faster cuts, cleaner welds, professional results. Companies don't just sell tools, they sell dreams of mastery. That dream often ends in a garage corner full of dust collectors. Tool companies profit, while restorers lose time, money, and momentum. And here's the kicker. One tool on this list is practically mandatory for survival in the garage, yet it's the one most people overlook. Stick around, we'll reveal it at number 1. Starting at number 10, the engine hoist versus the engine stand. Picture this. You're pulling the 396 big block from your Chevelle. The hoist gets all the glory, lifting that 600-pound iron beast like it's nothing. But here's what happens next. You set the engine down, roll the hoist away, and there sits your motor on the floor for the next 6 months. Meanwhile, the engine stand, that boring, unglamorous piece of steel tubing, becomes your best friend. You'll rotate that engine 47 times during the rebuild. Valve covers off, oil pan dropped, heads removed. Every angle, every access point, the stand delivers. Yet walk into any tool store, and they'll push the $400 hoist with chrome casters and fancy hydraulics, when a basic one would do. Meanwhile, the unsung hero, the stand, rarely gets the spotlight. And if you think that's a waste, wait until you see the air tool setup that drains more wallets than fuel tanks. Number 9. Pneumatic tools versus cordless impacts. The era of air tools is fading, and cordless impacts have taken the crown. You're in your garage, and that air compressor kicks on every 3 minutes. The tank holds 60 gallons, but your impact gun drinks air like a thirsty V8 drinks gas. Hoses snake across the floor, waiting to trip you. The compressor screams at 85 decibels, like your neighbors love that at 7 a.m. on Saturday. Compare that to a cordless Milwaukee or DeWalt impact. 1,400 foot-pounds of torque. No hoses, no compressor noise, no waiting for tank pressure. You grab it, zip off lug nuts, and move on. Here's the data that'll shock you. A quality cordless impact costs $300. A decent air compressor, impact gun, and hose setup, $800 minimum. Plus the electricity bill from running that compressor constantly. The pneumatic tool industry built their empire on professional shops with unlimited air. But in your garage, cordless wins every time. Speaking of winning, wait until you see the cutting tool that promises precision but delivers frustration. Number 8. Wire wheels versus media blasters. Most restorers start with a wire wheel, but nothing chews time like stripping rust this way. You're crouched over a Camaro fender, wire wheel screaming, sparks raining. 3 hours later, one patch of bare metal. Your arms ache and the garage smells like burnt steel. Compare that to a $600 blast cabinet. Parts go in rusty, come out pristine in 20 minutes. But here's the real betrayal. Wire wheels don't remove rust, they polish it. That surface looks clean, but microscopic rust particles remain embedded in the metal. Your primer goes on, looks great for 6 months, then rust bleeds through. Media blasting strips to bare metal. No embedded particles, no hidden rust, no comebacks. The wire wheel industry loves selling you consumables. New wheels every few hours. Media blasting? You buy the cabinet once, use it for decades, and we're just getting started. Coming up, we talk about the tool that literally hides rust while draining your wallet. Number 7. High-end paint guns versus proper prep tools. Walk into any paint supply store and they'll push a $700 spray gun like it's the secret to show quality paint. Here's the truth they won't tell you. That expensive gun won't fix poor prep work. Studies show that 80% of a show quality finish is prep. Body filler, sanders, and blocks matter more than the gun itself. A $700 spray gun without prep gives you the same orange peel as a $150 one. You're shooting base coat on your Mustang quarter panel. The expensive gun atomizes perfectly, but every sand scratch, every bit of contamination, every imperfection shows through. Meanwhile, the guy with the cheap gun and perfect prep work gets the trophy. Paint supply companies love pushing pro guns. Knowing enthusiasts think the magic is in the tool. Reality check, it's in the patience of panel prep. A $150 gun with $500 worth of quality sanders, blocks, and paper beats a $700 gun with poor prep every single time. And if the paint gun myth hurts, just wait until we hit the biggest lie in welding tools. Number 6. Flux core welders versus proper MIG setups. Flux core welders promise convenience. No gas bottle, no hassle. But they deliver the ugliest, most unreliable welds in automotive restoration. You're welding patch panels on your Mustang. The flux core wire spits, spatters, and leaves slag everywhere. The weld looks like bird droppings. Worse yet, flux core welds are porous. Moisture gets in, rust starts from the inside out. A proper MIG setup with gas costs $200 more upfront, but delivers clean, strong, beautiful welds. No spatter, no slag, no porosity. Your patch panels look factory fresh. Here's the data. Flux core welds test at 60% the strength of MIG welds. In structural applications, that's the difference between safety and catastrophe. The flux core industry targets beginners with promises of simplicity, but there's nothing simple about grinding out failed welds and starting over. Professional shops use MIG for a reason. Your restoration deserves the same quality. But speaking of quality, the next tool on our list promises precision but delivers disappointment. Number 5. Plasma cutters versus angle grinders. Plasma cutters are the sports cars of cutting tools. Impressive, expensive, and used far less than you'd expect. You drop $1,200 on a plasma cutter, dreaming of precision cuts through quarter panels and floor pans. Reality hits fast. Plasma cuts require perfect setup or clean metal and steady hands. One wrong move, and you've melted a hole instead of making a cut. Meanwhile, your $80 angle grinder with cutting discs handles 90% of restoration cutting tasks. Need to remove a quarter panel? Grinder. Cut out rust? Grinder. Trim patch panels? Grinder. Here's the shocking truth. Most plasma cutters in home garages get used less than 10 hours per year. That's $120 per hour of use. Your angle grinder? Hey, it pays for itself in the first weekend. Plasma cutters excel in fabrication shops with daily use. But for restoration work, the grinder wins on versatility, cost, and reliability. And if you think plasma cutters are overrated, wait until you see the tool that promises strength but delivers weakness. Number 4. Cheap jacks versus quality jack stands. This is where tool shopping gets dangerous. Literally, you're under your Chevelle, removing the transmission. That $40 Harbor Freight jack starts leaking down slowly. You don't notice until 2,000 pounds of American steel settles onto your chest. Jack failures kill 50 people per year in home garages. Most involve cheap jacks or improper use of jack stands. The difference between a $40 jack and a $200 jack isn't just quality, it's survival. Quality jack stands hold their rating indefinitely. Cheap stands? The welds fail, the mechanisms slip, the safety locks break. You're literally betting your life on a $20 savings. Here's the brutal math. A quality jack and stand set costs $400. A funeral costs $8,000. Your family would gladly pay the extra $360 to keep you alive. Professional shops use quality lifting equipment because lawsuits cost millions. Your life is worth more than their liability, but even quality tools can't fix the next problem on our list. Number 3. Cheap torque wrenches versus quality measurement tools. Torque specifications aren't suggestions, they're engineering requirements. Yet most restorers trust their muscle memory over precision tools. You're installing head bolts on a 454 big block. The spec calls for 65 foot-pounds in sequence. Your cheap torque wrench clicks, but is it accurate? Cheap wrenches drift 15% off calibration within months. Under-torqued head bolts leak coolant into cylinders. Over-torqued bolts strip threads or snap. Either way, you're pulling the heads again. A quality torquer wrench costs $150 but maintains accuracy for years. Cheap wrenches cost $40 but require constant recalibration. The math is simple. Buy once, cry once. Here's the data that'll shock you. 40% of engine failures in restored cars trace back to improper torque specifications. Head gaskets, main bearings, connecting rods, precision assembly prevents catastrophic failure. Professional engine builders use calibrated tools because warranty claims cost thousands. Your engine deserves the same precision. And speaking of precision, the next tool promises accuracy but delivers frustration. Number 2. Digital multimeters versus simple test lights. Modern cars have computers. Classic cars have simple circuits. Yet restorers buy complex diagnostic tools for basic electrical problems. You're chasing a charging issue in your Camaro? The digital multimeter has 47 functions, 12 settings, and a manual thicker than your shop manual. Meanwhile, a simple test light tells you everything you need to know. Power or no power? Classic car electrical systems run on 12 volts DC. You need to know if circuits are hot, grounded, or open. A test light shows this instantly. A multimeter requires menu navigation, probe selection, and range setting. Here's the reality. 90% of classic car electrical diagnosis involves checking for power and ground. $15 test light handles this perfectly. A $200 multimeter adds complexity without benefit. Save the fancy meters for modern cars with data buses and computer modules. For muscle car restoration, simple tools solve simple problems. Number 1. The fire extinguisher. This is the tool that saves lives, yet it's the most overlooked item in every garage. You're welding patch panels on your Mustang? A spark lands in some old rag soaked with brake cleaner. In 30 seconds, your project car becomes a $50,000 insurance claim. Without a fire extinguisher, your garage becomes a total loss. Garage fires destroy 15,000 vehicles per year. Most start from welding sparks, electrical shorts, or fuel vapors. A $50 fire extinguisher prevents catastrophic loss. But here's what most people get wrong. They buy the wrong type. Class A extinguishers work on wood and paper. Class B handles flammable liquids. Class C covers electrical fires. You need an ABC extinguisher that handles all three. Mount it near the exit, not deep in the garage. In an emergency, you want clear access to both the extinguisher and the door. Check the pressure gauge monthly. Replace every 10 years. Professional shops have multiple extinguishers because fire spreads fast. Your garage needs the same protection. The tool industry sells dreams, but fire extinguishers sell reality. Your safety matters more than any project. Pattern interrupts and data reinforcement. Let's recap the financial damage of tool mythology. Plasma cutter you'll rarely use. $1,200 professional paint gun without prep skills. $700 setup versus cordless. $500 extra cheap jack that might kill you. Priceless stupidity. Total wasted. $2,400 minimum. Now the smart money, quality jack stands, $200. Cordless impact, $300. Fire extinguisher, $50. Test light, $15. Total investment, $565 for tools you'll actually use. The difference, $1,835 that stays in your pocket instead of gathering dust in your garage. Tool companies profit from your insecurity. They sell the promise that better tools make better restorers. Reality check. Knowledge and patience make better restorers. Tools just make the work easier. The real secret. Want to know the real secret to successful restoration? It's not in your tool collection, it's in your approach. The best restorers I know have modest tool collections, but deep knowledge. They understand metallurgy, paint chemistry, and electrical theory. They research before they buy. They practice before they commit. Meanwhile, tool collectors have garages full of expensive equipment, but lack fundamental skills. They think the right tool will compensate for inexperience. It never does. The muscle car restoration community has been sold a lie that more tools equal better results. The truth is simpler. The right tools used skillfully beat expensive tools used poorly every single time. Your garage doesn't need to look like a Snap-on catalog to produce show-quality work. Focus on fundamentals. Safety first, quality over quantity, and skills over tools. Start with the essentials: quality jack stands, a reliable impact gun, proper prep tools, and yes, a fire extinguisher. Master these tools before adding complexity. Remember Jake M from our opening? After learning this, he sold his unused plasma cutter and bought quality jack stands. His Mustang restoration is progressing faster than ever, and his wallet is $800 heavier. The tool industry wants you to believe that success comes from their latest innovation, but restoration legends built their reputations with basic tools and advanced skills. Your muscle car doesn't care about your tool budget. It cares about your attention to detail, your commitment to quality, and your respect for safety. Choose tools that serve your project, not your ego. Your restoration and your bank account will thank you. What's the most overrated tool in your garage? Drop a comment below and let's discuss. And if this video saved you from a costly tool mistake, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of smart restorers who value results over receipts. Until next time, keep your tools sharp and your priorities sharper.